Hi there. Your name's Jamie, correct?
Yes.
Jamie Davis, or do you go by Jamie? Is that what people call you?
Yes, I go by Jamie.
Okay, perfect. And Jamie, your date of birth, just to confirm, is January 24th of 2001. Okay,
Yes. I'm 22.
great. So Jamie, my name is Sarah. I'm gonna be meeting with you. Um, So what we're gonna do, just to start out today, is just kind of briefly go through some background information, just so that I can just learn more about you, just so I can really figure out how to help you best. But just know that if there's any question you don't know, or you don't feel comfortable answering, absolutely allowed to do that. You can just let me know. Okay. And then before we start talking, I did just want to let you know that all of your information is protected here. Everything is confidential that we talk about. Um, so the only two reasons that I would have to share your information is if I had to get just some sort of outside help, if I thought that you were potentially harming yourself or somebody else, or if a child was being harmed. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. So what are you up to right now? Are you in school or working at all or
I am in school. I'm in my graduate program. I'm studying business and I also work. I have two jobs.
okay.
I you have to financially.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so I'm very, very busy.
It sounds like it. What kind of work do you do?
I work at a restaurant and I also work at a car sales. I work at their front desk.
Okay, awesome. Feel like you have to have good people skills for both of those jobs. So I'm sure you're really good at that.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you to say the least. It's a lot. I mean, I'm a very anxious person when it comes to being around other people, and I feel like it's helped a little bit with that, but it also can kind of um trigger some of my like emotions or stress in those situations.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Sounds like it's a good and a difficult thing sometimes. So thank you for sharing that with me. Do you mind just telling me a little bit more about what brought you in? It sounds like maybe difficulty at work is maybe a little part of it.
Yeah, I have a lot of difficulty like sleeping. Like I feel like I'm always just like up thinking, worried about what I'm gonna do to get through school, how I'm gonna be able to pay for everything. Um, I also am like extremely tired
Mm.
and I may not even do that much during that day. And I just feel like I've done absolutely everything and I just am extremely tired.
Mm.
Um, and I find difficulty like concentrating on one thing because I feel like my brain is just constantly being nervous and stressed. It's all the time. Like I always am feeling like this.
Okay. That does sound
And I
really.
just want to get help. I just want it to get better and figure out what I can do to have a just live a normal feeling life.
Yeah, yeah. That makes total sense. And I think that says a lot about you and your character and your strength. That you are at this point where you're asking for help. It's very brave. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
You mentioned, yeah, just a lot of worry. It seems to impact you negatively, just with your sleeping habits, and with just being productive and getting things done, especially when you have a lot on your plate. Do you mind telling me kind of how long this has been happening to you?
I would say I've always had anxiety. Um, like I've always been a very like anxious person, I guess you could say. Um, but I don't know, I never really took anything serious. went to see a child therapist a long time ago and whatever, let that go. I always feel like I'm anxious. Like it's something that I feel like been my entire life.
Mm.
Um, I do feel like my anxiety, I guess, getting older has been increased with just like the more responsibilities I possibly have.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just all the time.
Okay, I'm sure that's really difficult. So it sounds like almost every day you feel anxious.
Every day. If yes, if not more, yeah, every day, all the time.
Every day, and you have been feeling anxious like this, really since you were a child?
I would say yes. I mean, from what I can remember, I always was like a very nervous kid and wouldn't just jump on things and not think about it. Like I always was thinking about possible outcomes of how something could happen or what could happen. I've just always kind of been like that.
Right. I'm just gonna ask you a couple more questions about that. Do you feel like the anxiety presents itself kind of in relation to a particular situation or location or scenario?
No, it could, it's like anything. I don't know. It's something that I feel like can be triggered by wherever I'm at. Someone could say something and it could bring me to something else, or there's no particular um anything.
Okay. It's kind of just all the time, it sounds like.
Mhm.
And can I ask you if you feel like the anxiety is related to any like obsessions or compulsions that you experience?
Um, I'm not that I'm sure of. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have a very I want everything to kind of like just work out. Um, if that is an obsession, I don't know. I'm just very anxious about everything. So if I wish I just didn't have that. I don't know if that's an obsession of being obsessed with wanting things to just be okay and not. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. And any feelings of intense sadness or depression accompanied with the anxiety?
Um, not every time I would say, unless I'm sad about something that would have been provoked by it, but majority of the time it's just anxious. It's just anxiety and nervousness, and I can't control it.
Okay. If you find it hard to, you don't feel like you've found ways quite yet to kind of cope with the worry.
I wish I could, but I don't know what to do. I've tried um working out and stuff like that, and like um I've tried just skills that I've seen online that people say could help, and I can't control the worry. It's always like there. I can't shut my brain off.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure even as a woman that's already there, and then it sounds like it is heightened, and you're not quite sure how to manage that. So, um, alrighty. So did you mentioned that you've seen a therapist in the past when you were a kid? Is that right?
Hmm. I I lost a family member, my grandma, and the whole family kind of went to therapy just for making sure everyone was okay
Okay.
with that loss. It wasn't a long thing. I think I went maybe like 2 times.
Okay, gotcha. So that wasn't very extensive. And were you put on any sort of medication at that time for your symptoms?
No, I wasn't. I was young, they said, and they didn't want to prescribe anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And can I ask you if you're on any medications at this time?
The only thing I'm on is birth control.
Um, Alrighty. And do you have any symptoms or side effects with that you can pinpoint?
Not that I think of. I Not that I know of. No.
Um, so Jamie, can I ask you a little bit about your family history? If you do you know any of your family members have experienced this type of anxiety and worry?
I was told that my parents died when I was not super long ago, so I guess the family history is kind of hard. Um, but I was told that my grandma had really bad anxiety and was always an anxious person. I don't know if that's something that I could have, I don't know if it's something that you can get from a family member, but I was told that she was a very anxious person.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that you don't have your parents anymore.
Mhm.
Can I ask if you do have still living family members?
Yeah, I do. I have aunts and uncles and cousins that I'm very close with.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Do you live with any of your family members? Are you living on your own now?
I'm living on my own. I go to school here in Lexington, and I have family that's up north and some that are living in Texas, but we still talk a lot.
Okay, good. Good. I know it can be a make a big difference to have a good support system with your
Mhm.
family. And how about friends? Do you feel like you have a good group of friends that support you?
Yes, I do. And I have a boyfriend. I'm in a relationship, and he's a really good part of my support system.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So, alrighty, couple more questions. Jamie, can I ask if you have any current substance use, drugs or alcohol?
I occasionally drink alcohol, no drugs, but I occasionally drink alcohol, like going out with friends for dinner, stuff like that.
Okay. So sounds like it's maybe just kind of social occasions.
Yes, yes, only social. I don't ever have any alcohol in my home. It's only when I go out.
Sure. And any past drug use or history of drug use?
No.
All right. And then Jamie, do you have any physical health concerns or medical conditions that you know of?
I'm not diagnosed with anything, but I do get headaches a lot,
Okay.
and it happens a lot, like when I do feel anxiety and have had a long day. I feel like by the end of the day, I'm having like a headache from just my brain constantly moving.
Okay. Um, but it sounds like overall you feel pretty healthy.
Oh, yes, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you so much for being open and sharing with me. It really helps me to get to know you better and help you better. So, Jamie, just in this brief time I've known you and we've been talking, it sounds to me a little bit like you might have some generalized anxiety. So I'm not making this diagnosis right now. I just wanted to kind of present that to you to see if that seemed like it might be something you'd be interested looking more into and kind of working with me to sort of figure out if that's the case.
I definitely am interested in doing that. I want to figure out how I can just make this get better.
Okay, perfect, wonderful. Well, so Jamie, what I think I'm going to propose is that you would continue to come see me um, week on a weekly basis, just once a week, for about 12 weeks or 3 months. And if we need to do more than that, we can always add on. And if we feel like you're good to go before then you can always stop before that as well. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I would like to just work with you a little bit, just kind of teach you a little bit about what we call CBT or cognitive behavioral theory. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I have not.
So it's sort of the idea that your thoughts and your thought patterns and habits can really lead into your actions. Um, and so we would just be kind of going through how to sort of change those negative thought patterns and sort of swap them out for a more positive attitude, which can kind of help lead into just a healthier and happier lifestyle. Um, so I have a little packet that I can give you on CBT that maybe this week before our next session, you can kind of just give that a read through so that you can sort of start to familiarize yourself with what that might look like and entail. And then we could start getting into it next week. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Jamie. It was so nice meeting you today. And we will see you next week.
Yes, sounds good. See ya.